Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to talk about Greencard EAD. This video is part of the series that I'm making for the final stage of Greencard, which is adjustment of status or 485. So all the topics related to final stage of Greencard, which is adjustment of status, are covered in this series. So if you are interested in this series, please watch this video and also click on the link that I'm going to share somewhere on the screen to watch the other videos that I'm making in this series. As I said, today we are going to talk about EAD for pending I-485 application. I'm going to talk about when to apply, what is the validity, what are the pros and cons of EADs, and all the questions that I have been getting through my YouTube channel and my email. So stay tuned until the end if you are interested in the topic, and let's get started. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I would like to mention that I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. For your specific immigration need, you should contact a competent immigration attorney. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Now let's get started. So as you know, a lot of people are applying for their final stage of green card in the employment based categories, that is EB1, EB2 and EB3. So this final stage of green card could be a short process for some whose priority date would remain current throughout this process, or it could be a lengthy process for somebody who will experience retrogression in their priority days. In that case, you will need to apply for an EAD and keep it extending until you get a final green card. So let's look at when can you apply for this EAD based on your pending adjustment of status. So as soon as you know that your date is current, for instance for the month of October 2020, if your priority date for EB1, EB2 or EB3 is current based on the filing dates chart, then you can simultaneously apply for I-485, which is adjustment of status application, along with EAD, which is I-765 form, and also the advance payroll, which is a travel authorization document, which is I-131. So you can apply for all of these together. Even if you are filing for the downgrade from EB2 to EB3, you can still apply all of this together. So basically applying for the I-140, which is the downgrade, and then 485, 765, which is the EAD application, and 131, which is advance payroll. So all of this can be applied at once. So once you concurrently apply for all of these applications, you will get a bunch of receipt notices. So you'll get a separate receipt notice for each application and each person. If you are a family of 4, you will see 12 receipt notices coming in the mail at once. So keep track of all of those numbers, because you can use all these receipt numbers to track your application online on uscis.gov. So coming back to EAD, once you get the receipt number for EAD, you can also track that status of EAD application online using that receipt number. The first status change on your application you will notice is that receipt number was provided, and then subsequently there are few other status changes that you will notice, but the one that you want to look for is your card is being processed. So that means your application for EAD was approved and your card will be sent in the next 5 to 7 days. The processing times for EAD have been clearly given on the USCIS website, but in my experience they are not accurate. The actual processing time is much longer than what they indicate on their website. So in my experience, the EAD card could take anywhere between 3 months to even 9 months. So that is a long span between which you can expect to get your EAD card. Now another thing to point out is this EAD card is a combo card, which means that your advance payroll is also part of your EAD card. So at the bottom of the card, you will notice that it also says that this card can be used for travel authorization. Now let's look at the benefits of EAD. What is the first benefit? The first benefit of the EAD is if you start using your EAD, you can work for any employer. So EAD does not have a restriction for your employer. With EAD, you can change your job, change your employer, change your job category, and work any job that you want as long as it's legal. So the EAD card gives you that flexibility that non-immigrant visa does not provide you. Only thing is the initial EAD card that you get is only valid for 1 year and you need to renew it subsequently. On EAD card, somebody asked me, do I have to work while on EAD card? Technically, you don't even have to work on an EAD card. That provides you the authorization to work for any employer in any job category, and you may choose to not even work. Now there is a caveat, I will tell you what. So most of the people who are going through the employment based green card category, specifically L1 non-immigrant visa for EB1 and H1B non-immigrant category for EB2 and EB3, will be maintaining their non-immigrant status throughout the green card process, even in the adjustment of status process. So what happens then is you may be having two statuses that you can choose from. One is your H1B or L1B non-immigrant status, which you can maintain throughout the process until you get a green card. And then the second one is, so you may choose to go on EAD and let go of your non-immigrant status. Now this one has advantages and disadvantages. Let's look at the advantages. The advantages of going with EAD is, as I said earlier, you are not restricted to your employer or job category. You may even choose to not work. So that is the flexibility that you get with EAD. You can also do business or you can do multiple part-time jobs as well. So the EAD gives you almost the same flexibility as you would get on a green card or citizen. The second benefit of green card based EAD is, if your EAD expires and if you apply for your extension or renewal within 180 days of your expiry, you can still continue to work while your renewal application is in process, up to 180 days. This is a specific benefit for green card based EAD. It is different from H4 EAD or other EADs. Now one more thing that I want to point out, this is a very recent news. Congress has passed the law to which President has already signed, that they have expanded the premium processing that USCIS provides to different visa categories. Initially it was only restricted to H1, L1 and some non-immigrant visas and I-140. Now they are expanding this facility of premium processing to even EADs. So this is a big relief for a lot of people who are continuously having to renew their EADs but are stuck in the long wait of EAD approval. Now you can file your EAD application with premium processing by paying extra $1,500 to get your EAD processed within 30 days. So this is very great news that Congress just passed. Now let's look at what are the cons of EAD. Say for instance you applied for your adjustment of status and it is in process and it's based on your final action date. It is very likely that your priority date will remain current throughout the adjustment of status process until you get a green card. In this case, you might get away with just one EAD, but in the other case where your priority date retrogresses while waiting for adjustment of status, in this case you might be stuck with EAD renewals for a very long time. So your initial EAD comes for about 1 year validity, but your subsequent EADs, as I hear, are more than 1 year. They are usually 1 or 2 years. But let me know your experience in the comment section, as my personal experience is EADs are only given for 1 year. But for subsequent EADs, if it's 2 years, let me know down in the comment section. Another drawback of EAD is if unfortunately your I-485 application gets denied, which is very rare, you fall out of status right away, because your EAD is based on pending adjustment of status and your out of status goes back to your application date of adjustment of status, which is a really bad thing. Because if you think about it, if you are out of status in the United States for more than 180 days, you are barred from getting any kind of visa or immigration services for 3 years. And if it has been longer than 1 year, then you are barred for 10 years. So that is a risk that you carry by just going with EAD and abandoning your non-immigrant status. Now I highly recommend that if you have the means and if you can, you should always maintain your non-immigrant status and use it, because you will not fall out of status even if your green card gets denied in the end. You'll still have maintained your non-immigrant status throughout. So that is a benefit of remaining on non-immigrant status and not using EAD. Now, are there any travel restrictions while you are on EAD and EP? Yes, if you did not apply for your advance payroll while on adjustment of status, you cannot travel outside. If you do, that means you're abandoning your adjustment of status process. So make sure if you have the travel plans outside of United States, you always apply for advanced payroll before traveling. You need to have your EAD card and advanced payroll card in your hand before leaving the United States. So these are the things that I wanted to point out about the Greencard EAD. I hope this answers a lot of questions that people had on mind regarding the EAD for Greencard. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.